What is up, people, and welcome back to the 5th episode of the Evicted podcast, an extra special sleepy episode for you guys.
Yeah, it's a very, very late episode.
Yeah, and you know what? It's because I've been up all night. You know, I just
Eating cigarettes
yeah,
and shit.
I got a crazy nicotine high, and guys, if you want to know what the fuck we're talking about, go and follow us, Evicted Network, on Instagram, Twitter, fucking anything. You follow us on Google Plus.
You know, if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see some funny promotional content that we put on there.
And again, we reiterate, guys, to all the 2.5 people that are listening, because
our last episode fucking tanked for some reason.
Yeah, our stocks dropped. All our investors are gone because of you guys. So if you're listening,
we owe a lot of people a lot of money.
Yeah. So if you're listening, then fucking listen to our podcast. If you're listening to this, listen to our podcast.
Please.
We're running out of funds, bro. Anyway. Shit. Oh, I'm so fucking tired right now. Shit. All right. Let me just wake myself up with a good old swig of whiskey right here. This will wake me.
Better finish her off right now then.
Oh, fuck.
For the podcast, man.
Oh,
Get
shit.
the creative juices flowing.
Shit. All right. Well, while I do that, I'll let you do the PSA. What was our PSA again? Shit. You guys, we're just gonna let you guys in on this raw, unfiltered audio of us just stumbling through this right now because we're fucking tired. But
dumb, stupid, tired idiot.
It doesn't even matter because it's not like anyone listens to this fucking shit anyway. So you know, it's fine. It's cool. You know, we feel appreciated for sure. Yeah. So
we're not actually serious because we know there are loyal listeners out there that listen to this podcast. So
and you know
we
what?
Appreciate you guys, by the way.
And
you know who you are.
And we'll remember you guys when there are 1 million plays on every podcast episode that we put out. So we remember you.
And during the whole month of Destroy Dick December.
Yes, I'll think of you guys every single time I jack off. Because I did fail No Nut November. I ate a cashew. So, shit. So, PSA. Check us out on Instagram. Is lit. Song of the week.
PSA is check us out on Instagram. That's the public service announcement of the week. If y'all haven't seen our Instagram yet, it's fucking funny. In my opinion anyway, like we usually do funny retarded shit on there, so hopefully when you guys see that, that'll at least brighten up your day for a few seconds anyway.
I'm coming.
Yeah, he just nutted on himself.
Yeah, sorry, I literally did just this. Well, that's the whiskey talking right there. So anyway, between our severe writer's block and
I don't know, I just wish you guys could see what he's mixing his rum with. He just poured a big glass of chocolate milk and he just poured some rum in there as well.
Chocolate milk and rum. You couldn't ask for a better mix, but anyway, between our writer's block and severe lack of preparation perhaps for this episode, as well as really putting a lot of effort into some of our videos recently, we just decided to go with a somewhat philosophical, somewhat deep question that Liam had proposed to me a little bit earlier, and I figured we both save our answers for this episode of the podcast. So without any further ado, I think I'll let you propose this question, my man, if whenever you are ready.
All right, so here's the question.
All right, I'm ready.
Let's say, this is for anyone listening as well, let's say if you believe in reincarnation rather than going to the afterlife. For
the purpose of the question, let's just say you do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, for the purpose of this question, let's say you do believe in that. So let's say every living organism besides yourself is just left on Earth. What do you reincarnate into? Because the whole idea of reincarnation is that your life is ending and then
you become something new.
You become something new.
So,
exactly.
So you die, you become a squirrel. Squirrel.
Is
or
that
a plant.
someone that's retarded would say squirrel?
Yeah, a squirrel. We get lots of squirrels around where we live. But anyway, or a plant. Like you die, you become something else that's living. So there's no more living organisms on planet Earth. You die. What are you reincarnated as? My take on this, I feel like from what we understand of science, I'm a scientific person. I think science is very interesting. There's a very low chance that we're alone in this planet. I mean, you could make an argument that we are, certainly, but I mean, I just would tend to believe, if we exist, then why couldn't other life exist? So I think if there's no life on planet Earth, I think that we all live in the same universe, and maybe, even though we only really look at the universe sometimes as our everyday life is like, you drive to work, you get caught up in the regular everyday hustle and bustle of everything. I think if you die, there's no planet left on Earth, and you're going to be reincarnated. You become reincarnated as some sort of life form, but on a different planet. Maybe you're a fucking Martian. Maybe you're a little green man on Mars, or maybe you're in fucking the other side of the universe, and you're fucking 4 billion light years away from Earth, and you're a square. You're a living cube, and you just flop around.
I feel like that's a kind of conversation that I could have for hours potentially. But,
certainly. What's your take on it? I think that's my take on it. Like, surface level, it might seem a little bit like, oh, what do you mean, blah blah blah. But like, if you really think about it, like, I think there are a lot of different answers you can have for that, and I think that's my answer. I do think that somewhere out there is some sort of life, even if it's just a single-celled organism somewhere in the universe. I think it's kind of ignorant to think that we're the only life in the universe, which is kind of crazy to think about.
And it's also ignorant to think the world is round as well.
Yeah, because there's no proof of that, frankly. Yeah.
Yes. No solid proof yet.
Mm-hmm. What happened from what I understand, Neil deGrasse Tyson said this, I think, when the meteor hit the Earth, it hit the flat Earth so hard that it spun the Earth around and flung the dinosaurs off the planet, like the pancake, like spinning around in space. You know what I mean?
Pretty sure I heard that somewhere too.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think it's in his book Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. So you guys should give that a read. It's got some good content in there, especially how the dinosaurs died. That really, I was like, wow, my eyes are opened here. So
yeah.
What's your take on this question? I mean, this is your question, so I feel like you must have some sort of good answer for this one.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't really have a great answer for that question just because I wasn't sure myself. That's why it's a question, I guess. But I guess if I had to try to answer right now, then I would assume that as well, because like Christian said earlier, it is almost ignorant to think that there's not other life elsewhere besides the human race and what's on planet Earth. Yeah. There's planets that can sustain water. There's planets that have water, and they can, you can build an atmosphere. And then like Mars, that was supposed to be the plan for Mars eventually.
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, I mean, just in terms of the actual amount of space that we've explored, I think just from what we know, it's just crazy to not think that there's life on other planets or life elsewhere.
Certainly. So do you think you would just be reincarnated as something else somewhere else? Like even as a single-celled organism or something, in terms of this question?
Yeah, potentially. I don't know where else you'd be reincarnated to. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Tough to say.
Where you go, it is hard to say. It's interesting. Let us know your answer to that question and your thoughts on that.
Because you can have a lot of different answers to that question. There's a lot of different ways you could look at that.
Exactly. We want to hear your answers too, especially if they're different than ours. But
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from that.
Quick question, actually, just while we're on the topic. What do you think of reincarnation as a concept in general? Because my take on it is I don't know. People think a whole bunch of crazy shit. I think that when you die, you get buried in the ground or you get burnt into something, the worms eat you, and then shit like that. But like in science, they say energy can never be created nor destroyed, or some shit like that. I'm definitely butchering that, but like you can't create new energy. So like your energy, you know what I mean, wherever you're from, I think it's not too far fetched to say, okay, well then the worms eat you, and then they shit you out into the soil, and then you grow into a plant. Like maybe you become a tree when you fucking die. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's too far. You know, it sounds fucking ridiculous when you say it, when you actually like consider it. But who knows? Maybe it's not too far fetched.
I think the idea of reincarnation is cool because with heaven or hell, so the afterlife, it's basically like if you're a bad person when you're alive, then you go to hell. If you're a good person when you're alive, you go to heaven, ideally. But when you do bad things as a person, then you get reincarnated. You get maybe reincarnated as a rat, or something like that.
A cockroach.
Exactly, a cockroach. But let's say with reincarnation too, you're supposed to reincarnate infinitely. So that kind of gives you the opportunity as that cockroach to do, all good things in that span of life as that. Type of existence. So like essentially you can have a second chance at a good life. So it's interesting to think how reincarnation offers you like a chance to be a better person, and then in turn get rewarded for being a better person.
Exactly. People say like, oh, insects don't have thought processes and shit, and like they don't feel pain and shit, and like scientifically, yeah, it seems to make sense, but like how do you know? How do you know a cockroach isn't thinking like, I'm gonna invade this guy's shit right now?
Yeah, and it's intense to think that when you die, you either go to heaven or hell, and it's for eternity.
Yeah, that's a pretty hardcore approach to life.
Exactly. That's like can you imagine a jail sentencing that's just for eternity?
Yeah. Hey, you're kind of an asshole, so like you're going to jail forever, and that's it. But not I don't want to hear anything. You're chilling with Satan and you're burning in hell and you're hearing the gnashing of teeth. So anyway, not to bash religion. There's nothing wrong with religion. It's just I don't know. I think there's just a lot of different ways you can look at it, I guess. I think you shouldn't be closed-minded. Or you shouldn't like think like, oh, this is what happens when you die, because how the fuck do you know? Is what I'm getting at. I think me saying that when you die, you become a fucking TV or some shit is just as reasonable as anyone else saying anything about what happens when you die, or like what happens to you when you die, right? Because like, how the fuck do you know, right? Where do people get this information from? Unless God fucking whispers it in your ear. Then anyway, I think there's just a lot of open-ended takes on this, and you know what, maybe it's controversial, but again, we'd love to hear your take on it. Our loyal 1.5 viewer.
Yes.
So anyway, before we get too deep and we offend too many people, and we offend too many people by attacking their religion directly, then I think we should touch base. Just
a good note to end on that is religion is fucking dumb and stupid.
Yeah, and you're retarded if you believe in God.
Shit. Right after not offending anyone, I feel like maybe that wasn't such a good note to end on.
Spoiler alert. We offend everyone. I do quickly want to
believe what you want to believe in.
Yeah, totally. It's up to you. Yeah. Just again,
I don't think anyone is necessarily silly or dumb for believing in something and just going with that way of life.
Not a bit. Everyone has some sort of idea. Whether, like, no matter what it is, do you know what I mean? Like, if you're an atheist, you believe that you die and there's black. Okay, well, there's your belief, right?
If there's someone that's, like, a genius and they so happen to be Christian, like, that shouldn't take away from them being a genius.
Exactly. You can't... and honestly, this is one of those topics, to all you people out there, humbly I tell you this. If someone doesn't agree with your spiritual standpoint in the sense of like what you believe happens when you die or some shit, you're probably never going to change their mind. That's not something you should probably argue with them, because like you're getting nowhere. It's like talking to a wall and be like, hey, I don't like the fact that you're a wall. You should be a butterfly instead. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense because like that's something deeply ingrained within them what they believe. You know what I mean? You can't just change that because you're like, well, I don't think that's right. You know what I mean? Like, so believe what you want to believe, but do not shove things down people's throat and do not demean them for what they believe because that's personal to them.
Yeah.
So acceptance, homies.
That's just part of being an adult as well.
Yeah, just a good human being,
Yeah.
even like just a considerate human being.
Yeah, honestly.
Speaking of considerate human beings, we want to touch base really quick on 6ix9ine. Considering what we talked about last week.
Great transition.
Yeah. Oh fuck. I've been working on them, man. I've been practicing looking at myself in the mirror and being like, oh, how do I transition better? You know, because
just hitting yourself in the nuts over and over.
Totally.
Until you get it right.
Putting them in a vice grip and just tightening it every time I fuck up a transition.
Just twisting them 4 times around and just hoping they don't explode.
And bottom line, I'm infertile now. I don't have either testicle. But what that doesn't mean is I don't have to get a vasectomy. So fuck you, 40-year-old people that don't want to have kids. I already did it to myself. So you lose here. That's bottom line. So
I can't believe you didn't get a vasectomy like when you slammed the fridge door on your nuts like 50 times in a row when you were like 15, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, different walks of life, man. We all get to where we're trying to get to eventually. So anyway, I'm infertile now. My ultimate goal has been achieved. To touch base on 6ix9ine, what we talked about last year, that motherfucker, like on his Instagram account, not him but his team was like, due to unforeseen circumstances, we will not be releasing his album Dummy Boy or whatever. And that was to be expected. And then someone leaked it, and they were like, "Oh shit!" And so now it's officially released. So Dummy Boy is out. And you know what?
Tell us your thoughts on Dummy Boy. By the way, like the song and the album.
Yeah.
I thought Mama was pretty good, but like I don't think Kanye should have been on that song, and I don't think Nicki Minaj should have been on that song. Not that I think they're trash. Actually, that's a lie. I think Nicki Minaj is trash.
And then Kanye is like 50% trash.
Exactly. He's 50% trash.
And then 50% just awesome.
And he just shit the bed. Like, actually, you know what? This feature for Kanye was better than his song he did with Lil Pump. I actually didn't really dig that song, but I know a lot of people thought it was just super catchy, but... Maybe it's just I'm just getting to be an old man and I don't like the new age of hip hop, but I can appreciate a classic Tekashi 6ix9ine song for the gym or something like that.
Exactly, get you hyped up. And speaking of new age hip hop, this is a perfect transition. This is what you train for, Christian. This is what you train for. This is what you train for. Song of the week. I'm gonna have to go with Trap Hippie 3B, member of Trap Hippies 3B, just released a new single, Amends. That shit goes deep in his brain, bro.
Very catchy song.
Yeah, he's fucking. You've heard we've shouted out 45. That's some amp shit by Trap Hippies. They're going hard.
But to put out another banger right after 45 was released.
But and not only another banger, but an entirely different kind of banger, like a in your head kind of banger. Like there's some emotion behind this one. There's emotion behind the last one where you're like, yeah, that kind of emotion. But this one's like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
we did not rehearse that.
No, hell no. We one take, baby, one take.
Yeah, one take. Jake, that's my name.
Yeah. So anyway, make sure to check it out. We'll link it. Amends. Maybe it's Amends.
It is.
I thought maybe it was Amend, but that would be stupid.
No, it's
that's just because I'm stupid. That's why I thought that. It's Amends by 3B of Trap Hippies. Check it out. We'll link it.
They're probably some of the most unique sound on the East Coast right now.
Absolutely. So we'll plug them always. They're the homies. They're doing good work, and we appreciate it. And I hope you guys appreciate it too. Moving into our most anticipated segment. All 2 of you clap your hands right now and do a fucking drum roll on your table, hopefully, if you're listening.
You know who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
But we love you.
Seriously, we love you.
I'm serious.
I'm serious. And by the way...
We love you.
Yeah. We fucking love you, man. Speaking of being serious, No Net November is almost over, man. We're almost through it. I mean,
Should we not right now?
Yeah. After this, we're both gonna nut, one way or another.
Shit.
I don't know what that means, Shit.
That sounded super gay, but anyway.
Yeah, it's not gay. It's not. I'm serious.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not gay. So anyway, moving into our second segment, our most anticipated segment, as always, Would You Rathers. You know what? I'll start off right with it because I like this one. Honestly, I'm not very original, so a lot of the times I just Google these ones. But would you rather have sex with the hottest person on Earth that died a couple hours ago, or the absolute ugliest, most atrocious person?
Oh, don't do this to me.
I got to. I had to do it to him.
That's a good question. It's a tough question. I don't like the idea of necrophilia, but like I don't want to fuck the most like atrocious, like disgusting person on Earth.
Yeah, and they're like atrocious too. Like not just they're ugly, they're like smelly.
They're smelly and like, do they have STDs and shit?
No STDs. They're clean like that.
Okay.
They're just atrocious. Like there's in no way would you ever.
So I probably would not be able to get hired for this kind of.
Not naturally. You gotta take like some Cialis or some shit.
Fuck. Damn. I don't know. I always kind of like had a fear of taking shit like that because like if you have a boner for more than 4 hours, like you got to get your dick drained with a needle and like they got to stick you right in the urethra too.
Fuck.
That is something I am not trying to do.
Yeah. No, thank you.
But I also don't like the thought of fucking a dead person. So
what's the X factor?
Okay, here's what's the X factor is actually. I'm gonna drink 1 bottle of Everclear and then I'm gonna fuck the most atrocious, disgusting person on planet Earth. You heard it here first. Just give me 1 bottle of Everclear.
Yeah.
And
glug like water.
Maybe a bottle of Bacardi 151 to finish it off, and then I die of alcohol poisoning.
And that's the suck juice. That is the real suck juice. 151 mixed with Everclear. Good night.
If y'all can't drink a bottle of that, then you're a pussy.
Yeah. Don't even think about playing soccer with us at lunch because you are such a pussy. So,
all right.
To answer my own question, yeah, I'm gonna have to. I didn't really think of that clause that you thought of. That's pretty smart. I probably would do something like, I don't know, like pop like 3 Xanax and just be like, all right, like here you go, like have at her. But like like I don't know, like you think of the hottest person on the planet to you, and obviously that's subjective. But like, think of that person and they're dead. I ain't trying to have sex with a dead person. I'm not trying to be like, hey, like, do you like this? And they're like. And there's like flies buzzing around their heads and shit, and like zzz.
That's another thing. Like that kind of like it would also be. You're gonna have to take Cialis either way, because like I'm not gonna be able to like get hard to have sex with a dead person. I can't do that.
Fuck. Yeah. You know what? I won't elaborate too much on this. I'm not gonna have sex with a dead person. I think like if any having sex with any alive person is preferable to having sex with a dead person, I think.
All right. I feel like that's fair. It's totally fair to say and normal.
Yes.
I don't know if y'all like our viewers like having sex with dead people.
Yeah, some of you might.
I think I know a couple of you that watch this or listen to this podcast that do.
Yeah, I caught one of you. I caught one of you doing that shit one time.
I should say your name, you fucking coward.
Yeah, I'm thinking of you right now.
Live.
Yeah, and you know what? We'll get you. We'll get you a dead body. No, we won't do that. That's fucked. And you're fucked for even thinking.
Doing you a favor, you sick fuck.
Yeah, you sick fuck.
But
anyway, you must have a.
I have a would you rather, but it's like more of like a in real life kind of would you rather. So.
Okay, that's fine. Let's do it. I'm game either way.
All right. Let me see this bottle right by your foot. would you rather take the rest of this Mio that's in my hand and just chug it right now, or would you rather pour the remaining amount of whiskey that you have right now into a glass with chocolate milk and drink it for the boys?
Oh, so either way I have to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, so this isn't even like a would you rather. This is like a fucking...
It is a would you rather.
Shit.
Do for the podcast, baby.
Yeah.
The viewers deserve this.
Yeah. Do you see what you guys have fucking done to us by not listening to this? Yeah. You've turned us into fucking degenerates.
Yeah.
We're fucking scum of society, and you know what? I'm finna do it. I'm finna drink the whiskey because I don't know if you guys have ever tried to chug Mio, but
it's powerful stuff.
Maybe like a little squirt in your mouth is okay, but like not like the whole thing. Like, all right, you know what? I'll be right back. So,
all right,
keep entertained.
All right, so he's just going to mix his chocolate milk and whiskey drink right now. Maybe what we should do is like ASMR, what we have a couple podcasts ago. Why you do this? Just to really just. I know it's not really proof for you guys because you can't see this. But I'm watching it right now, and it's gonna be fucking disgusting. Like I get an up front seat for this.
I'm excited for us to have a camera, by the way, because
that's gonna be in the near future.
It is. Oh, that's another thing we should talk about. We're moving our podcast. If you hadn't already noticed, 27 minutes into this fucking episode, that we are on a different platform now, but we're moving from SoundCloud to YouTube. For the foreseeable future, there's a couple of reasons for that.
Excuse me.
We got into negotiations with SoundCloud and discussing our business and stuff like that, and really just get into the nitty gritty. And they're like, yeah, well, we really appreciate your business, but you're gonna have to pay like $100 and some bucks a month or a year, sorry, to use our services where you can have all your podcast up on there. And I was like, listen here, Mr. SoundCloud.
Your mom gay.
Yeah, listen here, Mr. Cloud. Yeah, first name Sound, last name Cloud. I don't have that kind of money. Or listen, I hardly have enough money to buy myself fucking whiskey and chocolate milk.
Hey everyone, this guy's stalling so he doesn't have to drink the whiskey and chocolate milk.
We're gonna be on YouTube, okay? Second reason is because we're gonna have the video and you can't do it on SoundCloud. Okay, no more fucking delaying. Cause I guess that's the kind of shitty being I am. Just listen to this crisp sound. Oh fuck, that's way more than I thought. I just bought this whiskey.
It's true, he did just buy the whiskey.
I really enjoy some whiskey and some chocolate milk. I'm gonna take the cap off the chocolate milk right now.
You should take a Snapchat of yourself doing that. Because no one can see it on the podcast, but like at least Snapchat can see it.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll put this on a blooper reel on Instagram or YouTube or some shit. Again, guys.
Actually, we're totally gonna do that. We're gonna record this and put this on our Instagram stories. Because I know you can have like separate sections on your Instagram, and it's like for different things. And we're gonna have like a section for stories on our Instagram where it's just dumb shit like this, like Christian drinking chocolate milk and whiskey. Like that's pretty gross, I'd say, but and little extra things like that for you'll see just by being followed to us.
Yeah,
on the Evicted network. Actually, it's just Evicted network.
Evicted network everywhere you go, unless it's relating to the podcast or the gaming channel, which we have not yet booted up. So that's kind of in the future kind of thing. But we have some plans for the Evicted Gaming channel. Anyway, if you follow at Evicted Network on pretty well any fucking social media platform that you can think of, you might just see this blooper in the future. And you guys will have heard it first on the podcast. But until then, Liam, if you would, boot up this video.
1 second. How do you work this contraption?
You just press it right here. So without any further ado, This is episode 5, 29th of November. The podcast. People in the podcast saw it first. This is some whiskey, mixing it with some chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's no thinking about this. There's just only doing it. This is a very interesting episode of the podcast thus far. Sorry about that. I dropped something on the floor. And
it's all good. Perhaps it shouldn't be done over the couch, maybe, in case we can't finish it.
Oh, we'll finish it.
Oh, you're a bad, bad man. Oh, wow. That's gross.
If you listen to the podcast, you saw it first. All right, so, you know what? It's not that bad. I'm not complaining. But it wasn't ideal. It was much less than ideal. Okay, well that ends the Would You Rather section. A very unique Would You Rather section. And you know what? I'm open to it. I'm game. Give us some ideas, guys, because we got some fucking ideas flowing through us. Especially for our Evicted Network shit, so... Anyway, on to the final section.
I just lost No Nut November.
Watching me do that?
Yeah.
That's fucked. That's fucked that you just said that. That's crazy. That's the kind of power that, you know what? I'm just gonna transition to this next fucking... Oh shit, Liam, I think you're gonna have to close out this episode, man.
Alright, transitioning on to our next segment.
Our final fucking segment.
We seen a dope ass movie the other day.
Well, dope ass? Would you go as far to say is dope ass?
I would say if you've seen Creed 1, there's more to appreciate in this movie, but...
That's the thing, we have two different views on this, because I did not see Creed 1.
But even if, I just want to say this, even if you did see Creed 1, like... in my opinion, this movie disappointed me a little bit. I thought it was just going to kind of be structured similarly to the first one, but it was really slow at parts, the sequel, and it kind of took me out of the movie. But even some parts of the... sorry I'm saying so much, but even some parts of the training montage, for example... At the very end of the montage, when he collapses and he's running behind the Jeep, spoiler alert, my bad. But he just collapses behind the Jeep. I thought that was just kind of fake. Like, it looked really fake. I guess it's not something that happens all the time. And you could just use the argument, well, you don't train hard enough if that doesn't happen to you. But how many people listen to this podcast pass out because they run for so long? I've never met anyone that's happened to in my life.
And if you do, then you're better men than us.
Yeah.
See, context, tiny bit of it. I had not seen Creed 1. To be honest, I've never really seen the Rocky movies, but like I fuck with Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone to me is a fitness idol. When I'm 70 years old, I hope I'm as fit as he is.
Me too.
So...
Definitely.
And also, I'm a huge fan of Michael B. Jordan in the sense that I saw him in one movie and I was like, that shit fire. This shit's the man.
He's a really good actor.
Yeah, and he's, so you put those two in a movie, I'm going to enjoy it. You know, I'm not a huge critic. I think that's pretty easy if you've listened to any of our movies reviews to tell that I'm not a huge movie critic and I'm not like, I didn't really like the cinematography and like, little minor details like that. But I think it was a pretty mediocre movie. Like, it didn't really have a lot of like special parts, and I think there's a lot of points where it kind of left me like yearning for something more to be happening. Like what you said, it was kind of slow. So maybe if I saw Creed 1, I'd appreciate it more. But from what Liam's take is, not really. So it was an okay movie. Would I recommend going to see it in theaters? Nah. I'd say save your money, to be honest.
I would say if you've seen the first Creed, go see it. There's definitely some stuff you're going to appreciate, especially if you've seen the Rocky movies, too.
Yeah, at that point, you're probably so invested. Yeah, go see it in theaters. But, like, for me, I'm so disattached from the whole thing. You know what I mean? So, I wouldn't say go watch it. I'll agree with Liam's opinion though, seeing as how he has seen the first one. That that chocolate milk and whiskey is just not sitting right with me.
Damn, Daniel.
Oh, I'm just gonna fucking go nut after this.
Shit.
I mean,
that kind of like made you want to nut, but
yeah, no, there's something in this whiskey or chocolate milk or something. It's chocolate milk spoiled.
You had an erection before the podcast started.
Well, fuck, I thought I had hidden that a little better, but you know what? That's awkward. This has been an awkward 35 minutes then.
Yeah.
If you've known that this whole time. So, anyway, Creed 2, was it good? It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. Was it bad? No, it wasn't bad, but it would I ever watch again? Probably not.
The saving grace of this movie, Michael B. Jordan's pecs.
He's ripped.
His pectoral muscles
are so big.
Insane in this movie.
They're harder than yours.
Yeah, they are harder than yours. On a scale of 1 to hard, they're harder than yours.
Yeah, and there's just no arguing that. And you know what?
No.
That's kind of the only thing I took away from that movie. I was like, damn, I want to be fucking as big as Michael B. Jordan. And you know what? I probably never will be.
That man is in the shape of his life right now.
Yeah, I'm not even gay. You know what? I'll just leave it at that. The whiskey's talking too much. That's true. I think every movie thus far I've given out of 5-star rating. I'd have to give this like a 2 out of 5. Like it was like, eh.
I'm gonna give this 3.2 milk bones out of 5 milk bones.
3.2. I feel like is that higher than anything else you've given?
No.
No? Okay.
I gave it 3.5 last movie, I believe.
Okay, so what's a 3.2 to you then?
3.2 is like
milk
a good
bones.
movie. Sorry?
Milk bones. It's just an interesting way of measuring
yeah.
it. Yeah, I'm going to give this 2 out of 5 boxing gloves.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what kind of unit of measurement you're using, but yeah.
2 out of 5 cereal bowls. That's what I give this movie.
Exactly. And
okay,
you know what?
So what's a 3.2 out of 5 milk bones?
I would say that's a good movie with maybe a little bit extra in there, like
I guess there's more for you to appreciate.
There's more for me to appreciate as someone who's already seen Creed 1.
Totally.
So
and
that's why it gets the little 0.2 on there. Like, I think if I didn't see Creed 1, I would have gave that movie a 3, probably.
Yeah. I guess if I'm going to be more specific, I'll give it 2.5 out of 5 stars. As in, like, it wasn't, like, I guess 2 out of 5 cereal bowls would, like, indicate, like, this was a bad movie. It wasn't bad. It was well produced and everything. It's just
the choreography was also crazy. Like, it was on point for, like, as far as boxing movies go, like, it's really on point with the choreography. Like, the old Rocky movies look cheesy as hell, but like
totally.
I think that's some of the nostalgia and like the appeal to them.
For sure.
But I mean, this movie and like even Creed 1 too. That movie's choreography was also crazy.
Yeah,
and it's just like it just makes you have a whole kind of respect for boxing already too. Like if you didn't already have one, just because you don't realize how hard some of the athletes train when you just kind of watch a boxing match or you just see one on TV or at a bar or something and you're just watching boxing, and a lot of people think it's not that hard, but it's crazy. You got to be in crazy physical shape for it, and I have a whole respect for boxers.
Yeah,
and UFC fighters too.
They're both crazy sports.
Yeah,
for sure. Well, I'm sure in one episode of the podcast when there's a big fight coming up, we'll talk about that because me and Liam are both pretty into the UFC and also boxing, just combat sports in general. But back to the topic at hand. Yeah, Creed 2, well shot, well choreographed. Michael B. Jordan, Sylvester Stallone, as always, fantastic, phenomenal, great at what they do. But just the overall synopsis of the movie, it leaves a lot to be desired, I feel like. And
you know what I'd also like to talk about really quick? Just sorry to.
Oh no, let's do it.
What's this I'm hearing about reporting cam girls to the IRS because they have Snapchat premiums? Like, if this is a real thing and they're scared of this, like being taxed by the IRS, like this is one of the greatest things to happen on the internet ever.
Yeah.
I think that's
this is
so
a good
fucking
meme.
Hilarious. Like,
yeah.
for like girls that like don't have jobs and they're just like depending on selling nudes of themselves and they don't want to actually work, like I don't know, you had this coming.
Yeah, I mean, what else can we say? If you're gonna make money, you gotta report it to your government, unless unless you want to get audited and shit. Like, even if people aren't reporting you, eventually someone will probably crack down on you. The IRS and if you live in Canada, the CRA, they're pretty good at that shit. They're pretty good at figuring out when people are cheating them. So, you know what? You might be like, yo, fuck the government, fuck taxes and shit, but like, that's also what pays for like your roads and shit and your healthcare if you live in Canada. So, it is what it is. And yes, I do agree. That's pretty fucking hilarious. I had a good couple chuckles at that. If you guys are kept up with the memes nowadays.
I heard there's a 30% incentive to rat people like that out.
Shit. All right. Well,
I'm getting 30% of what they have to pay back.
Oh, I'm finna find some premium saps then. In some case, I just found a get rich quick scheme.
AKA Thought Patrol.
Thought Patrol on the block. Anyway, unless you got anything else to touch on, I think that's the episode. And damn, a little bit of insight. I think the first episode we ever did, we did clean one shot to the end. And this shows you guys some of our weaknesses here, because we're still trying to get used to the whole podcast thing. This was probably the second time, I think, where we actually just sat down and just fucking A to B fucking nailed it down. So if you guys liked it, then maybe it's because it was a little bit more organic. And again, of course, we will go live once we have the resources to do this. But this is just our practice to go live, and I think we nailed that shit today. So. What are your thoughts?
100%.
So,
gang.
Hashtag pig gang.
Hashtag pig gang.
Yeah, oink oink. I got oinkers in these streets.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, whatever a pig would say.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, unless you have anything else to say, I think that's about the end of this one.
I do have one more thing to say.
Right.
I just want to plug our Instagram again real quick.
Yes.
Check out that shit. It's we try to upload 2 times a week. It's pretty lit on there. I think our content is definitely along the lines of original for sure. There's stuff that you're gonna see with us that you probably may not have seen anywhere else. And
there's substance to it too.
Yeah.
We're not just doing dumb shit. Like, for instance, I dare you, go check out this video we mentioned earlier where I ate a cigarette, but it's not like the camera just opens up on me and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna eat a cigarette, because that's kind of dumb, right? Like,
or like you do a rhyme and then you do something like stupid. Like,
exactly,
that's been done, and we all know who it's been done by and who it was created by.
And we're out here being original. We're out here entertaining y'all. So, again, what Liam said and what I said earlier, at Evicted Network, Instagram, Twitter.
We got crazy things coming. We got really big things coming for the future.
Absolutely. And you know what? We're not a one-platform hoe. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
We're going to be on YouTube. We're going to be doing podcasts. We're going to be doing skits. We're going to be doing shorter skits on Instagram, 1 minute long, if you guys are fucking don't have any kind of attention span. We're going to be doing fucking anything you can think of. You know what I mean? Evicted Network, period. You guys are part of it. We're all part of it. Make sure you tag along for the journey, because it's going to get wild. And, after that truth bomb, I think that's all I have really to say for this week. So, unless you got anything else to say, let's close this shit up.
That's everything, homie.
Let's do it. All right. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in to the Evicted Podcast. Again, every Thursday we will be releasing, the fucking whiskey is talk to me. Every Thursday.
Good morning, good night, and good afternoon, whenever the fuck you're listening to this. But,
yes.
I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Every Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, the Evicted Podcast. Now you can catch us on YouTube. Soon we'll have some fucking video up for you guys, so you can see us fucking rambling through this shit. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. Thank you, as always, for tuning in, and I'll catch you next week. Thank you.